Okay, so this is continuing on from the last video about prepared public speaking. So speech preparation is really what we're talking about today. And the first thing that we have to take into account when we look to prepare a speech is the purpose of the speech. So why are you giving it? Speeches can be written based on a specific reason or purpose, such as if you're explaining a new technology to a group of farmers, or maybe presenting retirement benefit options to employees of a company, something like that. The next thing we need to take into account is your audience. So speechwriters really should take into consideration who they're going to present to. So for example, a speech on retirement options would not be appropriate for a group of high school students, whereas it might be appropriate for a group of soon-to-be retirees at a company. You also want to think about the occasion at which you are giving the speech. So speeches a lot of times are presented for special events like banquets, leadership conferences, that sort of thing. So you really want to make sure that your speech aligns with the occasion that you are giving it at. Alright, so actually talking about how you select a topic. Once you know the purpose, the audience that the speech is going to be presented to, and the occasion for the speech, then you can select an appropriate topic. You obviously want to choose a topic that interests you. If you're bored, your audience will also be bored. You want to make sure that you choose a topic that you're knowledgeable about. You don't want to go in there and kind of have to muddle your way through things. Especially if there's a Q&A section after your speech, you don't want to be caught off guard with questions that you might not know the answer to. And also that goes along with this is choosing a topic of interest to your audience. You want to make sure that your audience is interested in your topic. A lot of times, even if your audience doesn't know a lot about a topic, if you're interested in a topic, they will be interested in the topic too. They will be interested in it because you are so interested in it, and that will come through in your speech. The best way to kind of get ideas is to just brainstorm with a whole list of topics and write down keywords, and then you can kind of compile all of those together into a speech topic. So once you've got your topic, you want to gather different information from a variety of materials. Books. I know everyone's like, wait, what's a library? Especially now that it's 2018 and the internet is very much used for sources. Books do still exist, and they are still a great source of information. The internet, obviously, Google is our friend. And personal interviews. So if you're giving a speech on a topic that, say, your uncle knows a lot about, go talk to your uncle. Write down any of your materials, all of your ideas, obviously, including the name of the source. You want to make sure that you have all of those, and if anyone asks you where you got your information, you can say, oh, I got it from this source or other. Web address, if necessary, if it's not a book, if it's on the internet. Page number, if it is in some sort of print source, whether that be a book or a scholarly journal or a magazine or something like that. And author. And then you want to create an outline to help you organize your speech, and that outline will be organized in those 3 parts. Okay, so intro, body, and conclusion. You want to write the speech the way that you talk, but you don't want to use slang terms. So you want to speak somewhere between conversational English and formal English. My mom's a former English teacher, so I'm going to go off on a slight tangent, but really there's 3 different levels of English, and there's many more in between, but there's 3 kind of main ones. So there's conversational English, there's public speaking English, and then there's formal English. Conversational English is what you would use talking to your friends day to day. Speech English is what you would want to use if you are preparing and writing a speech. That is really language that isn't as informal as conversational English, but is not as formal as formal English. Formal English is what you want to do if you're writing an English paper or some sort of scholarly work in some way, shape, or form. Formal English is very formal. I don't want to say necessarily hard to read or hard to listen to, but it is kind of harder to work through it sometimes, so making sure that you write your speech the way that you talk, but not conversationally, is really important. You want to be enthusiastic when you give your speech. You want to smile. If you look grumpy, your audience is going to think that you're mad at them. Use hand gestures. Speaking with your hands is not necessarily a terrible thing. You want to make good eye contact with your audience. That brings them in and just involves them even more. And you also want to be sincere when presenting your speech. If you're not sincere, your audience is going to know it. Please let me know if you have any questions on this one. Otherwise, the parliamentary procedure videos are also posted.